Hi everybody, welcome to Washington Grow, and I'm Christy Goranson, and we're going to learn all about the world of dairy, in particular cheese. And I'm in the test kitchen for Beecher's Handmade Cheese in downtown Seattle. And a little bit later on, we're going to talk to the chef and owner, Kurt Beecher-Danmeyer, and we're going to make some mac and cheese. So get ready to learn all about cheese.
We'll travel to the Cow Palace in Zillah, Washington to see how they're milking over 7,000 cows each day. Now that's a lot of milk. Tomas is on the streets to see what Pike Place market shoppers think of Beecher's world-famous flagship cheese. We'll talk about dairy production with Blair Thompson of the Washington Dairy Products Commission. Kelsey's at Dairy Cold to see how they're working with local dairy farmers to produce high-quality dairy products throughout the Northwest. Then we're in the kitchen with our home chef, Kristen.
Today we're getting our kids in the kitchen and pairing artisan Washington cheese with fresh homemade pasta.
All this and much more on Washington Grown.
There you go.
That's okay. For whole wheat, this is pretty awesome.
They are so delicious.
Beecher's Handmade Cheese is creating quite a stir for its many visitors. Located near Seattle's Pike Place Market, the restaurant features a variety of cheesy items that are sure to keep both travelers and locals alike coming back for more. All of the milk used to create Beecher's cheese comes from a dairy located just 30 miles outside of Seattle. Owner Kurt Beecher-Danmeyer discussed why Washington is such a great location for producing dairy.
Our climate and our soils produce really incredible grass.
And of course, to eat.
Yeah, of course, cheese is just grass, processed.
Right.
So having great grass is the foundation for the great cheeses that are being produced by Washington cheesemakers.
Your philosophy as a chef, no additives, nothing that's synthetic or anything that's people don't want.
Right, no flavor enhancers, no preservatives, no artificial colors. We really wanted to open a conversation with people about how all of their food was made. So many people, the first time they encounter actual food production is right there at Pike Place Market. And we hope that they not only think about how cheese is made, but also about how everything else that they buy in the grocery store is made.
Later on in the show, Kurt will show us how to make some of Beecher's world-famous mac and cheese. I can't wait. We're just outside of Zillah, Washington at the Cow Palace. I was expecting a castle maybe, or at least a few Holsteins with tiaras. The Cow Palace is actually one of Washington's largest dairies. A palace? Well, maybe if you're a cow. I spoke with dairy manager Jeff Boyven, and he was kind enough to take us on a tour.
Well, give me a little bit of history behind the Cow Palace. How long has it been around?
The Cow Palace started operating in 1973, and I think they started milking around 1,000 cows. This dairy is what's called an open lot concept. Instead of housing all the cows in closed confinement barns where they have their own free stalls that they can lay in, it's called a freestall barn. Our cows are housed in open lots and they can roam around these pens and they can go into the shades up here. If your cows are not happy and you're not treating your cows well, then they won't produce very much milk and they won't take care of you. So you take care of your girls, they'll take care of you.
That's right, remember that.
Cows provide a lot of food for us, but what are we feeding them?
Their food is a blend. It's called a TMR, a total mixed ration.
Yeah.
And all their whole day's diet is blended by a PhD nutritionist.
Oh yeah?
And it's blended all up in a big truck and then delivered to the cow. And they'll eat 100 pounds of this a day.
Holy moly. So where are we now?
We're at the Cow Palace Maternity Barn. All these little babies were born today. And we have average of 25 born every day.
My goodness.
So we have some Angus bulls. They're all purebred Angus. And the reason we have them is if our cows don't become pregnant with the AI conception, then we turn them in with the bulls in the bull pen because we still want them to get pregnant, or they won't produce milk the next year.
Tell me the process a little bit.
So we have 2 milking parlors that we segregate all the cows into 300 to 500 cow pens, and they know when it's time to be milked because they want to come in and get milk. Then they come in and we milk 100 cows at a time in one parlor and 78 cows at a time in another parlor. So right now, they're prepping these cows. They have to disinfect them, wipe them, and they'll attach the machines to them.
So they're being milked. What are the different tubes?
Okay, this tube right here, it contains the milk.
Okay.
So picture this, a big vacuum cleaner is sucking all the milk out of that cow to a point. And then this tube right here has atmospheric air. So to break the vacuum, you have to have atmospheric air, and that makes the milking sensation.
How long does it take?
10 minutes from when they first start till when they exit all the way out. We're milking over 7,000 cows, and each cow will give about 75 to 80 pounds of milk per day. So each time they come through the parlor, they give about 25 pounds because we milk them 3 times a day. Each one of these tanks can hold 15,000 gallons of milk. Whoa. And we fill them all up every day.
And your milk goes where?
Our milk goes all to Dairy Gold, and it's just raw milk, so it comes out of the cow. We just store it for less than 24 hours. A truck comes, picks it up, and takes it to the creamery.
Why is Washington such a great place for dairy cows?
Washington State has the perfect environment, especially Eastern Washington. The temperature is not too extreme, so the cows really like this environment.
Yeah, they're happy. This one, she wants to be on camera. She's trying really hard.
Up next, we're at Beecher's Test Kitchen, where owner Kurt Beecher Danmeyer is going to teach us how to make their world-famous mac and cheese. Then Tomas is on the streets of Seattle's Pike Place Market to see what people are saying about Beecher's famous flagship cheese. We're back at Seattle's Pike Place Market, where Beecher's handmade cheese is creating some pretty tasty treats. Focusing on local, fresh ingredients, Beecher's is churning out top-quality products that keep customers coming back for more. While there are a variety of cheesy items on the menu, it's easy to see what the crowd favorite is, their world-famous mac and cheese.
Extremely tasty and it feels natural, and it's really good.
It's really unique. It's good though.
I don't usually care for macaroni and cheese, but I would eat this.
Very creamy and very cheesy, and I love macaroni and cheese, so it's really good.
I was lucky enough to meet with owner Kurt Beecher Danmeyer at Beecher's Test Kitchen to learn the secrets behind the world-famous mac and cheese.
What do we do?
So we're gonna start off, first of all, we need boiling water. So we're ready to have a baby or make pasta. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna drop in the pasta. And the key thing when cooking the pasta for any kind of mac and cheese is to undercook the pasta. When you cook it, you wanna pull it out when it's still just barely crunchy.
Okay.
Because the rest of it's gonna cook in the mac and cheese itself. And it'll absorb the some of the liquid from the sauce.
Okay.
And the noodles will then taste nice and cheesy too.
We start the cheese sauce by melting butter in a sauté pan. Then add flour to make a roux.
Start
Whisk it up.
whisking.
Next, we're gonna add our milk.
Milk over here.
You can go ahead and add that for me.
Okay.
As soon as it starts to thicken, we're gonna add our cheese.
We add in a blend of Beecher's signature flagship cheese along with their Just Jack, then turn the heat to low and continue to stir.
Okay, so there we got the cheese integrated. And then we add our spices.
Okay.
So we have a little salt.
Okay.
A little garlic powder.
And this is interesting
And
ingredient.
a little chipotle powder. And we have some that we put in and some that we put on top. So next we're gonna integrate the pasta and the sauce together. So a big bowl. Here's our already pre-cooked pasta.
We add in the cheese sauce, mix well, Then pour into a buttered dish.
It's pretty cheesy.
It's very cheesy.
The noodle to cheese ratio is
Uh-huh.
pretty low. A lot of cheese.
We add a touch more cheese.
So if you're afraid of cheese, this is not the dish for you.
A sprinkle of chipotle, then bake in the oven.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God.
Now, an important step is to let it set just a little bit.
Right. This
3 to 5 minutes
too
before
hot to
you eat
even
it.
try to eat.
Yes, this is actually an exfoliant now.
Yeah.
Take the hair right off your tongue.
It would.
All right, are we ready to eat?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
do the mac and cheese dance.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so get that plate. I'll get a spoon.
Oh yeah.
All right, there. That's the stuff.
Steaming.
Still
hot.
quite hot.
The cheese is so creamy. The penne is perfect. Could
I
eat
have
this
to have
all
another
day.
bite. Yeah, you can eat this all day. We have a whole big pan.
We do with a lot of it. Thank you so much for sharing your recipe and showing me how to make it and everyone else. It's gonna be great.
Check out recipes and more on our website, wagrown.com.
So let's find out what people are saying about Beecher's cheese. Tomas is out on the street.
Hey, this is Tomas out here at Pike's Place Market in Seattle, Washington, right in front of Beecher's Handmade Cheese. I just got myself a nice little tray of some of their flagship variety, probably some of the best cheese you've ever made. But let's find out what the people of Seattle think of it. Take a wedge, tell me what you think. This is a flagship variety right there. Oh, there you go, you got it. The toothpicks aren't bad either, especially with the little dusting of that Beecher's cheese on it.
Very good.
That's nice, huh? What is happening in your mouth right now?
Salty. Melting.
It's melting.
Oh my God.
You see?
Oh, wow.
You see?
It's so good.
Now imagine a mac and cheese made with this.
The best cheese I've ever had. I'm having another one.
Hands down. There you go.
One more.
There you go. What do you make with cheese?
Nachos.
Nachos. Do you think you can make some nachos with this?
Yeah.
That'd be nice?
Yeah.
Some olives, tomatoes, sour
Yeah.
cream. It's been aged for 18 months. It's their most popular product. They make their mac and cheese with this. Now, even the little ones know Beecher's cheese is where it's at.
Hey, take a bite, kitty. Do you like cheese?
Look at that.
Awesome.
Yeah, come check this out. Do not be shy. When you go home, you will remember 18 months. It's a mixture of Gruyere and cheddar.
Thanks, Tomas. I think you are the most popular man on the market right now.
Isn't that nice?
Up next, we'll meet with Blair Thompson of the Washington Dairy Products Commission to talk all about dairy production in Washington. Kelsey's off to Dairygold to see how they're working with local dairy farmers to manufacture 1.2 million gallons of milk each week. Then we're in the kitchen with Kristen and the kids as we roll out some homemade pasta. The first cows were brought to Washington State in 1838, and today Washington ranks 4th in total milk production per cow in the United States, with approximately 480 dairy farms and 262,000 cows. It's big business for the state, too, accounting for $1.28 billion of economic impact.
I'm here with Blair Thompson, Director of Consumer Communications with the Dairy Farmers of Washington, and we're going to talk all about milk. So what are people confused about with milk?
There's a lot of confusion out there about milk, what it is, what it isn't, what it can do, and what it can't. Perhaps one of the biggest points of confusion surrounds organic versus conventional milk. Organic is a term that confuses a lot of people. They think it's two different products. It's not, it's the same product because by law it must be. The product, however, that process yields is exactly the same as the product that's yielded by conventional production because the federal law says it has to be that way. You know, you can't just make milk anything you want it to be. It has to be certain things, otherwise it can't be sold in this country.
What is the pasteurized milk ordinance and what does that mean to consumers?
Basically, it's a statement that codifies what milk can be. And so it sets a standard for milk manufacturers. So in order to be sold legally in the United States, all milk must comply with the terms of the Pasteurized Milk Ordinance. So you don't have people making milk that's different from one carton to another. In the United States, all milk must be the same to be sold, and that goes for conventional versus organic.
Do we need to be concerned about the use of antibiotics in dairy cows?
Absolutely not. In this country, when cows on dairy farms become ill, they're often given antibiotic therapies, just as you would be if you were sick and went to the doctor. When that happens, the cow is taken off the milking stream so that her milk does not go into the production of the farm. While she's in the hospital pen, she continues to be milked for her health and for her comfort, but all that milk is destroyed. Many people do not realize that milk is probably the most heavily tested and closely monitored food in the grocery store. Every drop of milk that is sold in this country is tested at the farm twice, once when it's put into the holding tank, once when the truck comes to pick it up, it's tested before it goes into the truck, and then when the truck arrives at the processing plant, it's tested yet again. And so that's at least 3 occasions before it even gets into the plant that it's tested. The chances of getting caught if you violate the rules are virtually 100%. So, and there are very strong incentives for dairy farmers to obey those rules and make sure that there's no antibiotic residue in the milk.
Are the cows ever given growth hormones? And if so, do we need to worry about it?
Well, it's legal to use bovine growth hormone to increase milk production in Washington, but it actually isn't happening here because at the end of 2008, every dairy processing organization in the state of Washington banned the use of RBST or bovine growth hormone for farmers who ship milk to them. So that's the first thing people have to remember. And the second thing people need to remember is that actually it's been scientifically demonstrated that bovine growth hormone has no physiological effect on human beings because growth hormones only work on their own kind.
But there is none in Washington milk, even if it doesn't say so on the label.
Yes, that's correct. Milk manufacture in Washington is all RBST free, even if it doesn't say so on the carton.
So a lot of different products on store shelves these days that are dairy milk alternatives, I guess.
We call them dairy substitutes.
Dairy substitutes. It's a lot to try to figure out. What's the difference, or is there a difference?
There are differences, of course. The dairy substitutes that you see, rice beverage, soy beverage, almond beverage, they come from plants rather than from animals, and they don't have the nutrient profiles that natural dairy foods have. So they need to be supplemented. So it's basically like taking a vitamin with a liquid. We like dairy because it's an extremely nutrient-dense product that doesn't have to be fiddled with.
It's just perfect the way it is.
It's the way nature made it.
To learn more about dairy production in Washington, check out our website at wagrown.com. Now, Kelsey's off to Dairygold to meet with Adam Tegler for a tour of the plant and to see their process of bringing Washington's locally farmed milk to you.
Hey guys, it's Kelsey Cook and I'm all suited up and ready to go.
On a weekly basis, we produce about 1.2 million gallons of milk. The day-to-day volume fluctuates. It's usually about 220,000 gallons. And that consists of our caseless product, our conventional gallons, mini half pints that we sell to schools. We run over 500,000 of those on a daily basis.
I remember that growing up in cafeteria, seeing the little Dairygold cartons. And that's just from this plant?
That's just from this plant, yeah. We have over 500 producers that provide milk to us. We get milk all throughout the Pacific Northwest and the Intermountain region.
And why is keeping things local important for Dairygold?
It's important for us because we like to support local business. I definitely think that's a very important part of keeping our economy strong in Washington. And it also helps us make sure that we're going to produce a high quality product. Because Dairygold is a co-op and we're owned by the farmers, it ensures that our milk is going to be high quality when we receive it so that we can turn it into a good finished high quality product for the customer. When we get the milk to the plant, we have to test it for several things before we can receive it. Antibiotics, make sure that there's none in the milk, make sure that it's the right temperature and the right flavor. From there, we'll pump it into our raw silos. That's when we begin the processing. So in the process of being converted to its final product, it goes through 3 steps. Pasteurization, separation, and homogenization. So this is our caseless filler. This is brand new filling technology. One of the first things that you'll notice is it's completely enclosed. So that's what all this shielding is for. We're running the Dairygold fat-free right now. So every time a jug passes by the labeler, there's a sensor that detects it and it applies a label to it.
In addition to supporting local farmers, I was happy to find out that Dairy Gold is also environmentally conscious.
Every time that we use a milk case to ship product to a store, we have to bring it back from the store, we have to clean it and sanitize it before we can use it, and we lose a lot of them too on a yearly basis.
Oh, all right.
You know, there's a lot of college end tables made out of milk cases. And,
that's a good point.
they get broken or damaged, so
okay.
That's the main advantage. And that translates into cost savings for the customer, and it's more environmentally friendly. Because we're owned by our farmers and we control all the milk supply that goes to our plants, we can really deliver a higher quality product than anybody else out there. Dairy Gold is the only dairy manufacturer in the Northwest that has control over all their milk.
Okay, wow, that's awesome.
You have to have a high quality product to begin with to have a high quality end product.
Right. Well, thank you so much for having us today, Adam.
My pleasure.
It was amazing to see the start to finish process here at Dairy Gold, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
To learn more about Washington-grown food, go to our website at wagrown.com.
Well, Kristen, we've got some helpers here today.
We have our best helpers here today.
I know, you guys are ready? Yeah, we're gonna make some pasta, and what better topping on pasta than some Parmesan cheese, right?
Yes, my favorite.
And this is fresh made Parmesan from River Valley cheese, and Julie made it just for us.
We are lucky.
I know, it is good stuff. So,
I think that
what
to
do you guys
show
want
her,
to do?
I don't know, help?
Very good.
I think to show her how happy we are, we should make fresh pasta to go with her fresh cheese. We're also gonna make some garlic butter to go on top of our noodles at the end with our Parmesan cheese. So I will have you and Sophie make some garlic.
Okay.
Do you wanna work on that? And we will crack some eggs.
Okay.
We crack 4 eggs into a bowl. Then peel and crush 4 cloves of garlic.
Squish! Awesome. What do you think?
Nice work. Good job. Now should we make some pasta?
Yes.
Ready? All right.
We start by combining our flour and salt in a food processor.
And let's put our eggs in.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Ready? Should we get those in? Here we go.
Here, go on up there. You can push
And
it.
this time you get to turn it on for us. Sophia, you ready? Let me get the lid on, and then you surprise me. Turn it on when you're ready. Whoa. Look at that.
We continue to mix until a ball forms.
Oh, look at that. See how it's in a big ball?
There we go. This is gonna be noodles.
Whoa.
We knead the dough on a lightly floured surface until it's smooth and elastic.
Over and over and over.
And then do it again.
Then cover with plastic and let rest for at least 30 minutes.
So we're gonna squish it out a little. Can you help me squish him? Because we want one of our ends to be thin enough that it can get pulled in by the pasta machine.
Okay.
And then we're gonna come over here. Do you wanna feed it in and I'll turn it?
Oh, looks good. Let's watch.
Right through here, through the top. And we're gonna turn this right here. And get him going through.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Look how cool that is, huh?
We'll take turns. Here's ours. Now it's your turn.
All right, so here we
We're
go.
gonna fold ours
Get your
over.
cranking arm ready. You ready? Go for it.
Ready?
This is fun?
Just like that.
Yeah? Keep going.
Good job.
Okay, now what do we do? What at this point?
Now we're gonna sprinkle them with a little bit more flour.
Okay.
Just like this.
Daddy usually makes the pasta at home, and I'm drinking wine or something. I don't know where I am during the whole pasta making part. And then we fold it in thirds.
Fold it in thirds. So
Over itself?
Yeah, right on
Okay.
top of himself.
Okay.
And we're gonna run them through a couple times till they look nice and smooth. This is just helping knead it a little more. Now we're gonna move our pasta level down one more, so it's gonna get thinner. These times they're gonna get longer. So Ethan, I'm gonna have you crank it, and I'm gonna feed it through so it doesn't get stuck.
And we're gonna
Ready?
watch.
This is a 2-person job.
It sure
anyway, so
is.
it's really nice when you have your kids helping.
yeah. And I just think it's really fun for kids to see what goes into
Making
something
it.
that they normally see
out of a package.
Yeah.
You know, and they can see how it's made, and that helps them realize this is real food.
Okay, go for it.
We continue to run our sheets of pasta through the pasta machine, decreasing the thickness of the sheets each time.
Are you getting a workout there, sister? And now we don't want to fold it over anymore.
Okay.
Now we're just going to keep it going straight.
Once it's to the desired thickness, we cut into a manageable length, then create our noodles.
There we go.
We continue to cut our pasta, then add it to a pot of salted, boiling water. To quickly make the garlic butter, sauté butter, olive oil, and garlic in a pan until lightly browned.
Who's hungry for pasta?
I'm hungry. Who wants to do the pasta dance?
What's the pasta dance? Ooh.
Come on, Sophie, you can do it. Yeah, you can. Okay.
Do you want to pour our garlic butter in here?
We add the garlic butter, herbs, salt and pepper, then our Parmesan cheese to the pasta before serving.
Do you want a little bit more cheese on top? Yeah, of course. Of course you do. My Parmesan queen over here.
What do you think, Ethan?
Less talking, more eating, right?
And you know what's even better? You made this.
You made this.
This was you guys.
What do you think about that? Thumbs up.
Here we go.
She's like, I can't talk right
all
now.
made it.
Oh my gosh. Nothing better than fresh homemade
noodles.
pasta
And fresh Parmesan.
spending time in the kitchen with your kids, huh? And your friends. That's the best.
To find Kristen's recipe for fresh pasta with garlic butter and Parmesan, log on to our website at wagrown.com.
Well, it's clear to see Washington is producing some pretty outstanding dairy. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for joining us.